live. Okay, well, hello everyone. I am extremely happy to be here at MIGS. I have a bit of a scratchy voice today because I'm speaking after the conference party, which I always try and do the day before. So I'm just going to go high level in terms of finding a great game, a great job. So a little bit about me. I've been doing HR for 10 years. And so I've been hiring people for 10 years, so I feel like I can give advice on what a person can do to stand out and get their dream job. Because it isn't sending a resume anymore and getting a job. There is so much more to it, and I just want to give some advice on what I look for and how I hire. So I work for MIGS14, which is a leading mobile game company in Ottawa. And so we've been in business for 13 years, and we make some of the biggest titles for Mattel, New York Times Crosswords, we do Rubik's Cube, and we've actually been able to recently hire top talent from companies like Gameloft and really grow our brand, and it's actually really, really exciting. Now, I know that when students and people trying to break into the industry are looking for a job, it is very, very, very difficult to get in. So of the 300 or 400 students in Ottawa alone graduating from game dev, only a couple % of those people actually do get a job. So I'm going to give you the advice that I would give to those people that really want to break into the industry. Okay, so volunteer. Absolutely. When you're hiring, you do look at the whole person. So volunteer with the company. It's actually really important for them to see somebody who's very passionate and goes above and beyond, for sure. In terms of co-ops and internships, I feel that if you have an option of taking a program and doing a co-op or internship within that program, you absolutely 100% do that, because you're gaining experience. So when you graduate, you're so much more operational. Education is one thing. Experience is much different and is maybe not more valuable, but extremely valuable. So building your network is huge. So when I hire, I often tell people that are interested in coming on to my company that they're going to go through about a year of an interview process. So I've had about 6 people I've hired recently that have literally, it's almost like dating. They've literally been courting us for a year. And what they've done during that year is they've come to our events, they play our games, they meet our people. And after I see that passion and that drive, that makes me decide to bring somebody on. You connect with people on LinkedIn, you go to the events. It makes such a difference, especially in such a competitive industry. Recently I had somebody come in for an interview, and I ask this every time. What is your favorite game that we've made, that you've played? And they haven't played any of our games. So at that point you're like, well, thank you for coming in. But on the other hand, I've had someone that played a lot of our games, that came to a lot of our game launches and suggested things that they would do to help improve or to get the word out. And those are the kinds of things that make a difference. Mentors. All right, this is huge. Mentors are extremely important. So at MIGS14, I've started a MIGS14 Mentors program. People within, students or people that are trying to break into the industry, I set them up, and they've shown passion for my company. I've set them up with a mentor within our company. If they seem passionate and ambitious, I will match them up with someone in a position that they one day want to be in, and I make sure that it's a good cultural personality fit. People within the company that are already working there, I match them up with a mentor in a position that they want to grow and advance into. Senior people that don't have a mentor within the company because they're very senior, I am matching them up with somebody in the industry that's where they want to aspire to. And I think what's really important is not to just be helping people, go to your company, stay there, but you're really helping people's careers, right? And so it's all about collaboration and industry experience, but doing it together. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. everybody is going to make mistakes. I think that you need to find a company that allows for that to happen and allows you to continue to grow. All right, so next, creating a personal brand. This is extremely important, and it's, you know what, I'm going to refer to dating again. It's like dating. When you're making an online profile, you talk about your horoscope, what food you like, what you do in your spare time. It's very similar in terms of getting work. You need to create yourself and how people view you. This is really, really important. In terms of blog, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, all of this stuff, companies now are checking all of these out. You need to take a step back and sort of look at what you're presenting to the world in terms of a whole profile. And actually, I will tell you. So yes, you should Google yourself. And it's so funny, when I was reading through my presentation last night, I Googled myself and I went through each of my profiles and each of my social media accounts, and I'm looking through my LinkedIn profile, and I go down to the bottom in the special interests in university. This is 10 years ago, and I'm reading through what I did on the side, and it said rugby, public speaking, and then it said drama. And this is kind of funny because I'm very dramatic. But I'm like, reading that, I should have said theater, not drama. Do you know what I mean? So it's little things like that, and it does absolutely make a big difference. Now, when I'm giving advice, in terms of finding a company that is right for you, don't take any first offer, whatever. So a company's interviewing you, you're also interviewing them. What industry do you want to be in? Okay, so say you want to be in gaming. There's a company like Ubisoft that is very corporate and structured and huge. And then there's startup companies where you will have a much different experience and a lot more power over the day-to-day. So you really need to research what kind of environment, what kind of culture is right for you. Look into their culture. Read the feedback from employees. Look into their values. Read their social media posts. This is going to give you a snapshot into what your day-to-day will be like in that company. And it's almost as important, to them as you, that you do this as well. So research, connect, and apply. So you know what industry you want to work in. You start connecting. You start building the network, going to the events. You do apply. You don't need to traditionally apply sometimes. Maybe they don't want a CV. You have to find different ways. And also, too, it's a lot about personal interaction, right? So when I see maybe 50 resumes a day. The ones that go above and beyond are the ones that really come and make a personal connection. How do you get their attention, which is very, very important? Understand their need and explain why you can solve it and what you can give them. It is about the company, and when you figured out that's the company you want to work in, you make sure that they know that. You advertise your brand, and this is kind of funny for me, double check your spelling. I know that seems insanely simple. However, I recently was holding a job fair, and my job fairs are a little bit different. I hold them in the evenings at a group event. We have martinis. We get to know each other. It's very informal, but very fun, because that is our culture. And so one of the people coming in to apply for the job handed me this resume, and I don't know if you all can see it, probably not, but it says to obtain a job as a programmer at Magnet, and instead of AS, it's ASS. So that one little letter makes a big difference. And I just replied and said, well, are you front end or back end? Right? And so, but you know what? But he moved forward and corrected it, and it's actually doing really, really well. But make sure that you look over everything. It's literally a snapshot of you. You have to stand out from the competition. And that is a lot of the things that I'm saying. You really need to pour yourself into being enthusiastic, into showing that that's what you want. So I sometimes give advice to candidates or people that really want to work in our company, and I say, you have to stalk us. You have to stalk us and know everything we're doing and show up everywhere. All right, so the interview. So say you get into the interview. Dress appropriately. Now, this is different in the gaming world because, when I tell people when they come in to work at MAGMIC and they ask about the dress code, I'm like, as long as you are wearing clothes, you are fine. I don't care if there's tomato paste on them, if there's holes in your shirt, it's fine. It is different for different companies, and I know some of the bigger game studios are a bit more corporate. So you know what? So check it out. All you need to do is just see what people are wearing in the office. Don't overdress, don't underdress. Just look good. When you walk into that interview, make sure that you have played their games or their product, that you can talk about it comfortably, that you can give advice, that you can say how you're going to fit in. And practice. When I was practicing for the speech, I did it, in front of my mirror. And it's the same with interviews. You have to feel comfortable doing it. And I know that a lot of people do feel comfortable meeting new people. It can be a stressful environment. The more practice that you do, the better. I've recently started doing practice interviews. So for the game dev program in my city, I have them come in and role play interview. I will sit there and they come in one after another because I really, really, really want to help people, and it is about getting that experience to do it. Get them to like you. People don't hire somebody who might just be perfect for the job. People hire somebody that's perfect for the job, but that they actually do like as a person. I think that a lot of times personal connections are underrated, and it's extremely important to have that personable connection. Make sure at the end of the interview you ask questions 100%. You don't say, oh well, no, that's everything. Ask some questions, but ask questions that are relevant to what you want. For example, say you want to be on a career path to being a senior R&D director. Well, what career path options do you have in your company? Do you usually promote from within? Do you support people going to conferences? Really think about the questions that you ask. And it helps you sound more intelligent, and it helps that bond with the company. Oh, I jumped ahead. I kind of covered this a little bit. Again, when you start with the company, for sure, you have to communicate your goals. So there are some people in companies that don't want to advance, or that want to go in a different direction completely. So you'll bring people on, maybe they want to work in QA forever. Maybe they come on as a dev and they want to go into game design. Maybe they want to one day be a CEO. Your employer is not going to know that. You communicate it with them and you work on a plan to get you to that place. You never stop learning. So you've graduated from school, you've gotten into the job, you're there. You keep going. You go to these meetups. You go to the Unity meetup if you're a dev. You go to the conferences. You go to MIGS. You go to OIGC. You keep learning because that's the way that you're going to stay on top of your job. I think that's it. I think I'm done. I really appreciate you guys being here. And in terms of MAGMIC or hiring, or if you just want advice, I'm happy to talk to anyone and help anyone out. And I appreciate you guys listening. C'est bon? All right. Hey, that was fun. Thank you.